Howdy. I'd like to welcome you to our Fundamental Chemistry Chem 130 lecture. What we're seeing on this page or on the background is our Canvas page. So I'm going to do kind of a quick walkthrough, talk through some of the important aspects behind the course. Probably the first and foremost would be that, hi, I'm Mike McFadlin. I'll be your chemistry instructor today, or rather for the next 16 weeks. And I would like to take this moment to make a plea. Please talk with me. Like, you're paying me to help you. I know this course is an asynchronous format, which means you aren't required to come talk to me at particular times, but it is going to be of critical importance for you to come in and somehow communicate with me. Email, office hours, Piazza, do that. Right? And so there's multiple kind of ways that I'm trying to push you to do that and sort of force you to, but it's really going to help out if you make that commitment. Right? To that end, we're an asynchronous online environment, and that is very, very difficult. Right? And the primary reason it is difficult is that nobody is good at self-regulating how they move through content and learning. Right? And we get people say, oh, no, I'm good at it. Okay, well, if people were actually good at self-learning, we wouldn't have personal trainers, right? We wouldn't have gyms. So whole industries have sprouted around the concept that humans are very bad at regulating themselves. And this is one of the reasons why in-person is great, because now you're forced to come in to see me and talk with me, and we have that communication. You're not forced to do that in the online world, which means you have to now take ownership of your education. Right? I'm going to be here as much as I can to help you through that. But again, you have to own that. Okay? So own your success by communicating with me, and we should be okay. Okay? One of the things to kind of help with that is that a lot of this is just scheduling. How do you organize your schedule? Sorry for the paper. And to that end, that's what we've got in kind of Canvas in a couple different ways. So one, there's this thing called the to-do list. Okay, and we'll see the screen kind of go frozen here, so we'll make funny faces at you. We've got this thing called the to-do list. Okay, which is a phenomenal tool. Like, people are like, oh, great, the to-do list. I just follow through the to-do list. The to-do list is probably your biggest enemy. It may help you kind of target when things are due, but if you're going through any course, particularly a chemistry course, by just saying, well, what's the next thing on my to-do list? Let me do that. Oh, it's due the 24th. I'm going to do it on the 24th. That is a horrible way to go through and do the class, and you will struggle. The to-do list is a tool to help you recognize that you've screwed up, really. Okay? That's the point of the to-do list. It's the, oh crap, I missed something. Okay? The more important thing is going to be down here, okay, where we're talking about schedules, okay, time management. That time management thing is a big deal, and that's where you should be spending kind of a significant portion of your time. Okay, so if we go through and click that Google link, what's going to happen is it's going to force you to make a copy of it. Okay, so you'll create a copy, and it'll load up here, and what we're going to see is Sunday through Saturday, 12 a.m. all the way through in half-hour increments. I do have it set up as military time or civilian time, depending on what you want to do. No, I'm not ex-military. Just it's easier in Excel to do it military. So if you prefer civilian or military, just hide or delete that column, because this is now yours. This copy went into your Google Drive. And what you should go through and do is schedule your day, okay? Or schedule your week. And you should make that schedule for each of the 16 weeks, okay? And that means going through and saying, you know, from midnight to, where are we going to go? Let's go 5 a.m., okay? That's going to be sleep, okay? So we'll fill that in black, and I can even put a little key over here and be like black, if I did the fill in correctly. There we go. And sleep. Ta-da! Now I know that during that time, I need to be asleep, right? I get up and immediately I take a shower. So I could write in shower, right? And you know, I take a shower every day. So there it is. I'm gonna scroll that all the way across, okay? Schedule each and every single aspect of your life, right? This is going to help you get through life in general. One, it's going to ensure that you have a better sanity and life existence through the class. So please go through and do this. Okay, so we'll go back to our Canvas page. To give you an idea on what your schedule should look like, there should be no white space. There should be nothing left blank. You should have every half hour scheduled out. If you want to schedule to every 15 minutes, that's cool too, but get it all scheduled in there. Okay, class, study time, office hours, free time. When are you talking with friends? When are you visiting family? Okay, all of it should go in there, and that's going to give you a better odds of success both in this course and a better sanity and quality of life by the end of the course too. Okay, so make sure you go through and do that for me. I don't need to see it. It's just there for you. Okay, so the next part is engagement, because again, we're online, it's hard. So there's a variety of tools that I've set up to kind of help you with that engagement process. Okay, and we'll see these kind of pop up. So Piazza is our discussion board, email, office hours, and communicate with each other. Find other people in the class going through that same content and take advantage of those tools. Okay. At the bottom of this, we see this little link here. So week 0 introductions. And what that's going to do is take us to the modules. And this is going to be the primary page. After week 1, I'll update this so that the modules is the first thing you see when you open it up. Okay, so week 0 introductions, the welcome to Chem 130 is the page we already went through. And then we kind of move through this. So you should move through this relatively quickly and read through it. We're going to see the course syllabus. Actually, before we do that, note at the top of the module, it says complete all items. So hopefully you can see that little marker there, kind of right up at the top where my cursor is. There's a little red thing through it. That red thing is meaning that you haven't completed the module. And so this is set up in student view so you can see it. And you'll see there's some green check marks and some empty boxes or empty circles next to each of these. As you also go through and look at the items within it, for instance, that first one says viewed, okay? All you have to do to fill in that green mark is to click the link and look at it, view it, that's it, okay? So the next one is also a view, which I'm not gonna do, okay? The syllabus contract says submit. So that's an assignment that you have to submit. Okay? So this way you can look at the module and look at that column and be like, there's some empty space. What have I not done? Okay? That's going to help you kind of check for yourself. One of the things that does pop up every so often, for instance, if we move down to the Chem 101 registration, it says mark as done. So I can just go through, and when I click this, come on, sometimes the system doesn't work, and right up here in the upper right it says mark is done. So I'll click mark is done. Okay, so cool, it says it's done, so I finished it, right? No, you just clicked mark is done. That doesn't mean anything. Follow the directions. You actually have to load and do something. The mark is done is because it's going to an outside tool that isn't linked to Canvas. So there's no way, you can't submit the assignment because the submission to the assignment Canvas doesn't know about. It's outside Canvas. Mark is done is your way to track that. And again, your way, not mine. I don't see it. Okay, so you can mark as done whatever you want. That doesn't mean you actually did the assignment. Make sure you do the assignment before you click mark as done. Okay. So we're going to double back to the modules here. So we've addressed kind of all the little symbols that could pop up for your completing items, which is useful. The syllabus, that course syllabus within the module is going to link you out to Concourse Syllabus, which is on the left-hand side, that left menu. Okay, so if we're having a hard time seeing these things, we can draw it again So Concourse Syllabus is the last thing in our list there, because if we're going to be honest, you probably aren't going to read it, though the syllabus contract says that you did. Okay, so you should read it. There's lots of useful information in there. Okay, so go through, take a look at the syllabus, then do your syllabus contract. Communicating with the instructor, that's going to get updated because I'm going to do office hours based off of your schedules. Okay, so if I pick office hours now and it doesn't fit anybody's schedule, it's pretty useless. So that's what the office hour poll is for. So when you go through and submit that, what I will go through and do is compile and as best as I can pick office hours that match the schedules outlined within the poll. Okay. Outside of that, you can always send me email and you can set up one-on-one appointments, which is going to be the next thing in here, our engagement. Okay, so the engagement is a really big deal to me because that's where we get success. Okay, so to start it off, within the first 2 weeks, you have to meet with me. Okay, we'll meet virtually, one-on-one, your schedule, for no more than 15 minutes. At 15 minutes, you're done. I'm cutting you off and I'm throwing you out. But you have to talk with me for at least 5 minutes. Okay, so how do we schedule that? Because that's going to be a mess. Okay, that's what this Google Doc link is for. If we go through and look at that, we've got some directions written out on it, but then at the bottom, once it loads, we will see week references, okay, as it continues to load. So we look at week 1, we will see some time, 5 a.m. all the way up to, I think, 5 p.m. is what I picked. Maybe I went a little bit later than that. I went all the way up to 6:45 p.m. Monday through Sunday. Okay, you pick a time. Okay, so let's say you want to meet with me at Tuesday at 8:15. All you do is click that. You fill it in with a color. Okay, and it can be black. That spot is now reserved by you. I still don't know it's you. Okay, that's where the directions say, and send me an email. Okay, once I have that email, I'll build the appointment, send you a link saying, hey, this is when we're going to talk. This is how we're going to talk, and everything's great. You just have to do that once in the first 2 weeks. Okay. After that, we'll have normal office hours, and you should be attending those. Okay. When we look at the rest of the engagement, interact with each other. Use the discussion boards. Use the shared Google Docs for practice exams. Build study groups. Okay. Talk to the tutors at the tutoring center. Okay. Extra credit. It's there. Okay. So come up with ways to engage with the content and engage with each other. It is going to improve your performance in the class in the long run. Okay. So back to our modules, the Chem 101 registration, which I did already click, but if we click that again, what that's going to do is open up this thing, and then we'll see this little button saying load Chem 101 registration in a new window. Okay, so that new window, if you click that, and I'm not going to click it because I've already registered, so it's going to show something weird. You would click that and you'll then register for our course. It automatically drops you into the course, so you don't have to know any special access codes or anything like that. It's there. Great. Okay. There is a free trial period through February 2nd. So if you're having financial issues or you need to get money together to be able to pay for it, that's okay. Still sign up. February 2nd is when you have to pay by. Okay, so get that going. There are a variety of tools within this class. So I'll point that out. It is in our Concourse syllabus. We're using Chem 101, which we just mentioned. That's our online homework. We've got Piazza, which is our discussion board. We have PlayPosit, and PlayPosit is a kind of live quiz lecture-ish. So my lectures are recorded within YouTube, and I embed some of them into PlayPosit. And what will happen is quiz questions will pop up periodically throughout that video within PlayPosit to ensure that you're paying attention and kind of keep you on it. Okay, so that's the point of PlayPosit. And then the last tool we'll probably be using is Lockdown Browser. Okay, so start working through the syllabus, reading through, see what tools we've got, what we need to be using, what you need to get set up so that you're ready to run. Okay. So once you're ready to run, we're running right out of the gate. Okay, so we'd start unit 1, structure, science, atoms, all that kind of fun stuff. Each unit starts with kind of a review page. This is the prettiest of them because it lists out the competencies and all that. I'll try and update the later units, but they probably won't look as nice. Okay, you'll see lecture slides as a link. Lewis rules is a separate lecture set, so that's also there. And we also see this unit breakdown, which I think is going to be really important to you. Remember how I said Canvas kind of organizes things so that we can see stuff? Well, this unit breakdown thing is going to do something similar, but give you a little bit more control. Okay? So if we open this up, what we see is all of the items that are listed in Canvas with suggested due dates and official due dates. So all of the lectures you can watch whenever you want, but if you wait to the night before the exam, that's not going to work very well. So you need to space that out. That's the point of this schedule. Okay, so it's showing that suggested time on when you should have done it. Okay, the other thing that's useful here, and I will adjust the settings on this, is that you should make a copy of it. And when you make a copy of it, you will then be able to go through and select will fill cell when done. So if you've already memorized all the elements, you could go through and now fill that cell so that you know you've completed it. Okay, and that's the point behind that. Okay, or the point behind that document. Okay, we also see kind of a grid setup so you can see the YouTube links out to them if there are PlayPosit lectures associated with them. Textbook references, what pages you should be reading relevant to that video. Okay, that is also one I need to work on a little bit better, but it should be pretty close. And then also lab pairings. Okay, so if you're taking the Chem 130 labs, some of that content directly matches, some of it doesn't. So if we go through and look at this, the lecture from Science and Matter, our very first lecture, really doesn't apply well to any of our labs. Okay, so these week labelings are the labels of what week it matches in lab. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense, and that's supposed to help kind of guide you in both courses. If you don't have lab, hopefully that's because you've already passed it. Okay, because you should be enrolled in a lab to get the credit that you want to graduate. Okay. After that, I think I've already talked way longer than I wanted to. Yeah, we're at 20 minutes. Each of these things is set up within the modules. You see, again, you've got the places that will fill in as you viewed them. Okay. Numbers next to these links are referencing how long that video is. So if you only have 5 minutes, watching lecture 1 or clicking that link is probably a bad idea, because it's going to pop up saying you watched it, but you haven't. You clicked it, and that was it. Okay, so just be kind of aware of that. Last thing, we're just going to do 20 minutes, whatever. Extra credit gets offered day 1, right now. Okay, you've got 2 ways to satisfy it. The biggest issue with the extra credit is this is not a end of the semester, I'm failing, what can I do to pass? Not going to happen. I'm not offering that. Okay. What I am offering is consistent performance throughout the semester. So if you complete 12 of these extra credit assignments, you will be given a 2% boost to a borderline grade. If you're not a borderline grade, the extra credit doesn't do anything. So who cares? Okay. So 2% will be given to borderline grades, okay, at the end of the semester. This is strictly extra credit. I will go through and assign grades without evaluating the extra credit. Once I've got grades assigned, then I will go back and look at extra credit. Okay. To give you an idea, it affects roughly 10% of the class. Okay. Actually, a little bit more than that. It's about 20% of the class that the extra credit has the potential of helping on. It's not a lot of effort. One of the big things or easiest things is to go to the tutoring center. Okay. Tutoring center visits get tracked. Use that to ensure that you can get extra credit and do better in the class. With that, we've hit our 20-minute max. So thanks for watching, and I look forward to the semester working with you. Have a good rest of the day.